Hey everyone, Jonathan here. I just wanted to make a quick video update today about what's been happening basically in the month of November 2016 for a great game. So I'll just leave the game out there while it's playing. I'm not actually playing right now. I swear my hands are up here. Um, so to give a little bit of backstory, I'm basically starting to blog today. I should have started like a month or two ago, but since I'm starting today, I'm gonna go just a little bit in the bag just so I can give you a little bit more background about what's happening. So we've been working on this project now that is currently called the Grand Block Odyssey. Um, it is basically a puzzle game mixed with a bit of storytelling. That's actually the vision I have for it right now. And in October past month, basically, in October 26th, I think it was, we did a public playtest with the game, which is basically what I'm showing here on stream while I'm talking. So what we had was some very basic type of gameplay with some very basic graphics as well, and we were mixing some puzzle mechanics along with some enemy fighting. So you saw there just a little bit ago, the character was throwing boxes at the enemies, which were dying, and these enemies can basically kill you as well. And then we have the core of the game, which is what we're seeing right now, which is pushing blocks that once you push them, they're sliding all the way back and until they hit a wall. Results from the first playtest, which was the first public playtest I had with complete strangers, and it was very interesting. Most people really liked the experience right away. It was something that they really thought it was enjoyable. They thought there was also like a very good mix of puzzle and fighting. So the transition we're seeing right now is a little bit more fighting, where you have to push boxes and find your way through enemies, and then of the puzzle. So it kind of breaks uh, the fact that you not only doing puzzles, you need to actually think and transition in between that. So I think it's much easier on the player because you have um, some sort of section that are slower, not as hard, instead of just giving puzzle one after the other to the same player nonstop, which can be a little bit tedious. So when you mix both easier and harder segments in the same time, it makes it. I think it makes it like a much more enjoyable experience. This is. I think this is why most people enjoy the first time because they were not like they didn't feel like all the puzzles were very hard. Um, the the overall comment was that the fighting was interesting. People were not expecting it, but they liked to see it there. But at the same time, they felt like something was missing. They felt like it wasn't polished. They felt like it was out of the game, not really fitting with the rest of the game. So they were a little bit curious about what happened there, but they still enjoyed it, but they weren't quite sure about it. And some people even suggested that maybe I should throw this away or put this aside for now and focus more on the puzzle aspects, where we have two different type of blocks, and we can see it right there as well. So we had originally the orange blocks or yellow, gold blocks that can be pushed an indefinite amount of time, and then you have the gray, not the gray, the brown blocks with numbers on them, and what happens then when you push them that certain amount of number that they have on them, you cannot push them anymore. So the block with number 4 can be pushed 4 times, and then after that it's dead. You can push it anymore. So it adds a little bit of more complexity to the puzzles, and people thought I should maybe focus more on adding more some of these things. So I took that feedback in October, and now this Thursday, so in 2 days, I'm actually doing a playtest number 2, where we will be showing off what I've done differently. And I'm not going to show it off here, but I will actually do a video on the playtest once it's been passed, so I can give a little bit more feedback about what happened there. I actually put a little more emphasis on storytelling. So the first playtest had absolutely no storytelling other than just having 2 types of textures, which makes you go from a forest to inside of a building, but it wasn't very clear what was happening there. And also there was a big disconnect with the type of enemies, which are mummies, and like it didn't make any sense. So there was no storytelling there. I also added a little bit more interesting graphics just to see would more like more beautiful graphics or more intricate graphics would actually break the experience, because it would make puzzle harder to see, things like that. So this is the thing I'm going to be testing as well. So we'll have much more beautiful graphics that I bought on the marketplace to be able to have something that looks a little much better. And also, the goal of this playtest will be to make sure that people like a mix of puzzle and storytelling, and see if that is interesting enough, or if there's like again another disconnect, right? So even if I think it makes sense, it always makes sense to test it and see what people think about it. And also, one big element from playtest number one, where people thought fighting was not super interesting, I ended up, I'm going to close this video because it's going to loop out and maybe go to another video. Let's see, I lost my notes. There they are. There they are. So right now I removed the fighting. So every type of combat encounter there was in the first game is right now totally gone. But I found maybe an interesting way to bring it back, which will be using a little bit more of the puzzle aspect of the game. So not saying they're gone forever, but for now they're gone, and we'll try to see what happens with that. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm super excited to see what people will think of the new version, which is, in my opinion, an improved version. I've been playing a lot with it, and it seems much more interesting, but we'll see what people think. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that. So stay tuned for next week, where I'll probably do a postmortem. I should stop saying I will be doing a postmortem video on what I found out of playtest number 2. I'm gonna show off what the gameplay looks like, and we're going to analyze what we've received as feedback and try to see where we can go with that in the next month. So have a great evening, have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you guys very soon. Cheers.